My name is Big City Mo. I'm a public speaker, a teacher, a lifestyle and tourism enthusiast. You're welcome to my channel. If it is the first time of seeing my channel, thank you very much. Take time to go through my archives. I'm sure you see the one that appeals to you. Please subscribe on this channel, share the video, tell someone about it, and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn on your notification so you get updated in our subsequent posts. And if you subscribed before, good. Thank you. I appreciate it here. Let's keep it up. Let's continue to celebrate Africa. On this channel, we celebrate African lifestyle at home and abroad in the diaspora. Everything about the African people, how we do our thing and what we are. Okay, let's go to the real issue of the day. 5 things the African man or woman don't like to discuss in public. 5 things the African man or woman doesn't like to discuss or will not like to discuss in public. We'll be right back. I will go straight to it. Welcome back. Now, the very first thing the typical African man will not discuss in public is sex education. A typical African man is surrounded or guarded by what we call the African orientation, custom and tradition. He doesn't want to do something outside the content of the cultural ethics, the custom of his people. You can't discuss sex education among peers or among young people because you feel that you are exposing the young people to sex orientation. So there's a difference between sex education and sex orientation. When you have young kids in the house, 15, 16, as teenagers or adolescents, certain period you have to call them, educate them, tell them about, growth in their body. Fine, they were being taught in school, but parents should equally take time to tell them some of those things. But because we're Africans, we are guided by custom and tradition. Because of the custom and tradition or religious orientation, we don't want to say some things that will probably expose the kids. However, these kids see some of those things. They go online and see, but parents will never see them sit down to address these issues, and that's why some kids eventually become victims. So, one thing the typical African man would not discuss in public, some way, somehow, sex education. He keeps it very secret, and the more you try to keep it secret, the more danger it may portend in future. Okay, the second thing the African man would not discuss in public is homosexuality. We all know the issue of homosexuality that's trended on the net for some time now. Man having thing to do with another man. Now, in Africa, people don't sit down to discuss it. They feel it's out of discussion because of cultural beliefs, orientation, religion, and the rest. So they don't discuss it. They feel if you discuss it, you may probably be struck by one god somewhere. So people don't discuss it. They see it as a taboo. If it happens, let it happen somewhere because it is strange to the custom and tradition, so they don't want to discuss it. So those things are things the typical African man don't want to talk about, especially publicly. Now the third thing the typical African man don't want to talk or don't want to really take it seriously is divorce in marriage. A typical African man's marriage is fine. Knowing the family is a right. The African traditional thing is a right. But when it comes to dissolution of marriage, people don't really take it serious in Africa. You don't break marriage just like that. They just feel that if the man is tired, let him walk away. If the woman is tired, let her walk away. They don't discuss issue of breaking marriage as very serious. The only one that is part of that serious is getting married is very serious. Knowing the parents, fulfilling marriage right and doing this and doing that. But when it comes to breaking marriage, people don't really discuss it that much. We've seen African marriages just like, okay, husband and wife they are not dissolved already, but they're already living separately. Probably they don't like the ways they live. The man don't like the way the woman lives. The woman don't like the way the man lives. Some way, somehow, everyone goes his own ways. Now, those are the things they don't really sit down to discuss. They feel the family is involved, the community is involved. If they want to dissolve it, they should just advise the woman, stay away from your husband. If your husband is this, if your wife is this, stay away from her and all. Okay, so that the divorce in marriage is not something that they have to sit down to discuss in public. All right, we'll be right back. I will come right back. We conclude this session. Big City, have fun. Welcome back. Big City Mo is still here. Thank you for watching this video. Ensure you watch from the beginning to the end. And let's celebrate Africa together. If it's your first time or stumbling back to my video, please take time to go through it. I'm sure it will make some good to you, to help you out. If you find pleasure in it, if it has added value to you, please do not forget to subscribe on this channel, share it, tell somebody about it, give us a thumbs up and turn on your notifications so that you get, updated with subsequent bulletins. And if you have been subscribed here before, thank you, we appreciate you. However, let's complete the session that we are today. 5 things the typical African man will not discuss in public. We started from sex education, homosexuality, divorce in marriage, traditional worship, and abuse of the girl child. So far we've talked about the first 3, sex education, homosexuality, and divorce in marriage. We're going straight to the 4th one, which is traditional worship. Before the advance of civilization, religious civilization, Islamism, Christianism, we have traditional worship, which is very strong. But by the time Christianity and Islamism actually came into the system, people tend to suppress the religious worship thing. But the fact remains that every typical African man is connected to one traditional worship thing, no matter what. They are so religious, church, monks, but they still have something they worship. They can't cut away from it, but they don't discuss it in public. That is the way of life. They don't discuss it. That doesn't mean because you go to church or because you go to mosques, doesn't mean you don't have to do that. But of course, they don't take time to discuss it. It is very apparent that a typical African man will always have 1 or 2 things to worship back home. Yes, but the fact that civilization has come, religion has taken so many things away from our lifestyle, but this is our life. This is a typical African man's life. Civilization, internet age, computer age has taken traditional worship away from our life. But somehow, the typical African man wouldn't want to discuss traditional worship. That is just the African man. And lastly on this edition, what the typical African man will not want to discuss in public, most importantly, is abuse of a girl child. Now, the abuse of a girl child has trended so much on the internet. We have so much abuse, molestation, assaults, and all stuff on the girl child. The least we hear of it is maybe the girl child end up getting depressed and doing some funny thing. People don't sit down to discuss it. In Africa here, they keep quiet, they keep silent because they feel that the moment you expose this issue, that family will be stigmatized. Okay, take for instance, now you have a girl child that has been raped and molested. People just die in silence. They don't want to tell the neighbors. They feel if they tell the neighbors, that girl is going to be stigmatized for the rest of her life. Nobody wants to talk to her in the village. Nobody wants to be her friend. They see her as like, okay, she has been abused. Nobody wants to go close to her. So for that reason, people don't discuss the issue of girl child molestation, and which is very wrong. These are issues that are very important that we should discuss, we should put on the front burner so that everyone can sit and contribute and fight against it. But the typical African man will not just publicly start discussing the issue of girl child abuse. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you have not subscribed on this video, please do subscribe so that you can get regular updates. If you're new, thank you. Go through the archives, find one that appeals to you and share it, tell someone about it, and turn on your notification. Big City is my name. I'm a public speaker, I'm a teacher, I'm a lifestyle and tourism enthusiast. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.